Hello and welcome to our first demo of Tidefall. I'm really excited to show this with you. What we're going to do is we're going to essentially walk through the game. Those that have seen the intro or know a little bit about this game, no two playthroughs are ever exactly the same. But of course the world and the things we interact with and the people and the NPCs, that is all human written. So I'll know where we're going, I'll understand the people that we're meeting, but the way we meet them, what they're asking us to do, and really how we impact the world around us, that is going to be unique to this playthrough. So it's really exciting. Every playthrough is different, and I really want to show off some of the areas of the game that I personally think are really cool, and I'm sure we'll come across so many of those. So let's get into it. As a little bit of background before we actually begin, we are playing as Growl. They're a half-orc barbarian, a pretty big guy. I think we have a big axe with us and a little bit of coin. We're also starting off here in the village of Ebstone. This is where a lot of our playthroughs around the demo is going to work, and also just to note, this is of course a really early stage of the game. This is not the final product. The UI itself, whilst we've got some really cool elements in, we have some music, we've got the animated backgrounds, you'll see the pictures of who we're speaking to and where we are as we go. This is not finalized, so of course this is our internal demo. I just really want to show all of you the game, the engine, how it's all working. So let's get right into this. As you can see here, we are standing in the middle of the village of Ebstone. Outside, well, it is the Golden Pick Tavern. Yeah, this is a classic fantasy land in many senses, and one of the main ones is certainly whatever village or city you go to, you can be pretty sure there's going to be a tavern, and that's always a great place to start a journey. You have people from all over in there, and let's see who we meet. Let's see what's going on in the tavern. So let's head on and through the door with two crossed. Let's just head through that doorway. And we'll see here, as I'm typing and interacting, there's no one size is best for typing and how you interact with it. You can certainly type longer prompts really describing everything you want to do, or shorter, more matters of fact. So here we've gone through the door, and of course that's taking us into the Golden Pick Tavern. You can hear in the background the fire's crackling, and then it's going to give us a bit of an intro of what Growl is looking at. So as we can see here, the fire is indeed crackling, describing what it looks like. We have a sword hanging above the mantle. Maybe that's something we want to interact with. Maybe that sword is going to be ours. Let's have a look. We've got a stocky woman, green-brown apron, wipes a cup, eyeing you. A lanky man with spectacles, and the funny thing here is, of course, as Growl, we don't know who these characters are. We've not interacted with them, but as someone from the team and has been interacting with this game a lot, I know just by the description who these people are. Now, they're not necessarily always in here. We have the stocky woman, I believe we'll see, is going to be the barmaid Tabitha. But these are the things where it's always unique and different, but the actual people, they're the same. They are the same. So we've actually got the lanky man with spectacles interacting with the guard. But maybe before we do anything, let's go up to the bar, put some copper on the table, and ask for some ale. Okay. Before we get into it, can't go wrong with starting with a pint. So everything it's doing here, as we're moving through, it's working out, how others are going to be perceiving us. If we're moving and we're making lots of noise and we're shouting or we're creating a fuss, others will stop their conversations. If we are, a bit more discreet, people are more likely to get on with their stuff. Obviously, as a half-orc barbarian, often you'll enter a place and people will stop because you are, you're bigger than most people there, and orcs are definitely less common in this area. So we go up, and here we go. This is Tabitha, the barmaid who was described earlier. Often in the Golden Pick, of course, this is where she works. So we've got our ale. Aftertaste of river mud. Not sure if it's the best, but you know what? I don't think we can complain. I'll take one over none. So with ale in hand, head over to the, how's it described, lanky man. Sit down next to him and gently join their chat. Yeah, this is, well, we'll see how this goes down. We've gone for a gently join their chat, so I'm hoping we're not here to create a fuss, but realistically, they are just chilling there. So here we go. It's Niece Elbridge, who is as described. So we can see the guard, not quite sure what to think of us, hand on the sword hilt. But Nice themselves seems to be a little more welcoming. We also have a farmer who has just kind of chimed up here. Now I don't really want to engage with this guy, but you know, there again, I feel like often you've just got to draw a line. So tell the farmer to mind his own business. Then washed up here. Okay, so hopefully this farmer isn't like close mates with Nice and the guard. That wouldn't go down great. But you know what? I don't think we could just sit back and take it. Well, what would Growl do? That's what I think. What would Growl do in this situation? He would not just take it. So we've told the farmer to drink your ale and keep your tongue still. Seems like it's gone down well. Seems like that's worked. No, not cause too much of a fuss, and we put our foot down. I like that. So, yeah, we're asking Nice for some work. Okay, so he's introduced us to this guard here. The guard being Harold. I mean, maybe we can help him out. Maybe, yeah, right now Harold's not really giving us much, so I'm thinking we get the arm up, with, you know, a little bit of a cheers situation. Maybe we can get a little bit out of him. Harold, is it? To your watch. Okay. Health, he mutters. Okay, so Harold's not really in the mood. Not really in the mood to talk, and that's fine. Let's stick with Nice. So what we can do here is, you know, as I've mentioned so many times, is however these interactions go, or whatever they say, we can really decide to do whatever, and everything is going to be taken in what I'd say the most realistic manner. So, you know, if I'm going to push Harold, if I'm going to have a good conversation with this guy, try become buddies with them, I can get up and leave. I can punch one in the face. Quite literally anything's our option. For now, you know, we'll keep it down low. Maybe towards the end I'll show you a little bit of when we start doing some crazier stuff. But let's follow through and hear what he has to say. Now, what skills ride with that axe? Skills, you ask? Yep, Growl, of course. Strong arm, stronger mind. Maybe so, maybe not, but if Growl believes it, then Growl's gonna say it. Strong arm and mind, with 3 pressing needs. Kobolds raid Bogfield Farm, burn steel bite. Stonegrave Manor stands empty, said to be haunted. We want it cleared. A troll has taken to our roads and carried off goats and men alike. Deal with any of these. Okay, so we now have a little bit of an option if we want to get some gear. Right now, we only have our axe, so gear is not plenty. Looking at these 3 here, I think the troll is a pressing matter. So you'll see the troll a lot around in Ebstone, as it is one of those, you know, this is a small village and they got a troll issue. So you're going to see that a lot. Right now for this demo, you know, if I want to take this troll on, I want to have some gear. Put it that way. And I don't think we have the time to really gear up and see where that takes us. So these other 2 come to mind. I like the sound of going over to Bogfield Farm. Let's see what's over there. Kobolds, they're pretty small, right? How big's a kobold? How big's a kobold really? So let's have a look. Now, one thing that comes to mind as I'm doing this, oh, we have got a nice piece of information. So it says, take 5 of you, kobolds hate it. And then we have the bring proof, so it's going to be pays per head. I like the sound of that a lot. But one potential issue I can see coming here is, do we have the manpower to take down a lot of them? So this is where something like bit of a party can come in. Now, of course, you can play this game multiplayer and have a party with your friends, or we can see if we can recruit someone. So, you know, the way Nice was described, potentially not the fighting type, but it's worth asking. Let's ask. Now, I'm not sure how up to the task Nice is going to be, but maybe with me there, maybe as a big front of Growl for him to get behind, I can give him some confidence. I keep ink, not steel. Okay, maybe not. You'll find no escort here. Okay, so he's basically saying Harold or Harold's men, so the guard's not going to help. He's not going to help. Well, before I go, let's find someone to help. Well, funnily enough, as I write this, you know, I think back to a bit earlier. We had the guy from the farm. Where was he? Yeah, the farmer. Do you think we can turn up to the farmer? You know, start as enemies, become best mates? It's possible. But he's actually introduced us to Ignis here. So we have the smith. Okay. So yeah, we have the smith here. Can't join us. We have a farmer, Igneous, who might help, but is half drunk. Oh, in fact, it's gone even further. Igneous has heard this and said that they'll show us the way, but they won't fight. I want someone to help fight. Stand up and announce to the room, we are going to the farm. I will slay the heads of 15 kobolds. Who wants to join me and share in the profit? I mean, 15 kobolds must pay a lot. We're getting paid per head here. I've said 15. I'll keep 8 as the lead. They can have the 7. So, silence answers. Great. Okay, you know, I'm not going to push it. No one really wants to take my hand in fighting these guys. Growl, it's all up to us. Before we go to the farm, we need to bring some fire. It was mentioned before, bring fire. Let's start with that. So we're back into the village. Of course, finish the ale before we do so. Oil at the general store. Flint perhaps from the riverbank. So, Elbridge's essentials. What am I saying? We should have asked the man themselves. Okay. Head inside. Let's have a look at the oil. Okay, so we've just met Nice in the tavern. Go into what is obviously their shop. And we have Caroline, who I believe is Nice's wife. Makes sense. So we enter in. We can see some grain, some paper. Only one lantern. We're closed, but if you got coin I sell, what do you need? Tell her my plans. Say I was told to come here by Nice, who gave me this mission. Fire. Bring fire, he said. So now I am here. So hopefully our interaction earlier, or, you know, at least didn't really tell us to come here, in all honesty. But will she know that? Yeah, there we go. So, you know, playing with the truth a little bit, it can get you somewhere. And realistically, is Nice going to be upset finding out that Nice did tell me to get fire, so we're getting some fire from their store. 8 copper, flint and steel. Pay what you can, but bring back the jug if you live. He said it's on the house. This one. We'll bring part of the reward back to you later. Maybe this is pushing it a little bit. He says many things after ale. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, she believed me, but turns out it's not quite good enough. But fair enough. Leave a couple copper. I'll take that as a discount. A couple copper. That's 75% off. I think we played our cards nicely there. Bring the jug back whole, she says. And try not burn yourself first. Okay, head over to Bogfield Farm. Who are we with right now? We are with Igneous, right? Alright, we take the jug. Igneous is waiting for us right there. I ask a little bit. It says tail short. Okay, he was a king's soldier. Then, I guess, got their farm. And it's a pretty... He wasn't lying. Short story. Was a soldier. Came home. Got a farm. But now these damn kobolds steal his goats and his pride. We can stop that. We can stop that. For information, more specifically, on these raids. So we can see at Bogfield Farm, the raids. These guys are burning everything up. We gotta stop it. But well, I guess it really comes down to, can we catch them in the act, or at least can we find out where they're coming from and take them at the source? Alright, 10, maybe 12. Well, I did promise 15, so not too far off. Night mostly. When the river fog thickens, they come from the old mine holes in the hills. Hit fast. Torch what they can't carry. Last time they tried to burn the barn with Robert inside. He's still limping. Okay. Thank him. Let's go find Robert. Have a chat with him. Maybe Robert has a little more information here. We do know from this, they come from the hills. It's a pretty wide range. It says holes in the hills. I'm not sure if we'd be able to just find holes in the hills. Okay. Go to Robert. Introduce and say why I am here. And if he has any info that can help me. So, as we progress this game, of course, as I mentioned before, we are in the development stages. This is an early part of the game, but we are going to be adding a lot more, specifically big parts such as separate combat systems. I mean, we'll hopefully go through some combat now, but the way combat is going to look in the future is going to be totally different. Checks, you know, persuasion checks, dice rolls that attribute what you do in the world. You know, we can persuade, we can deceive, and those will all be kept to the rules of attribute checking. But for now, we can show off really the core of the engine, the thing which makes this so unique, and then everything else that we build on top of it is going to support this engine and the world, the living world that we're able to produce with this. So here we go. We have Robert, of course. Quite a cool hat on you got there, Robert. I'm Growl, here to kill the kobolds. Maybe Robert will be the one to help me in the fight, although they did say he is limping, so I'm not sure if taking an injured man into this fight will be... not my problem. If he says yes, I'm not gonna say no. I'll stand watch, sound horn if they come, he says. But this leg won't hold a charge, you'll fight alone. Kind of what I was expecting. So, I guess the best thing to do now is either pass a bit of time or go on a bit of a search. For now, let's go a little bit of food. Let's see if something happens in the meantime. If nothing happens in the meantime, maybe we can search around for some clues exactly to where they're coming from. Bread and cold mutton in the pantry. Okay. Pantry's narrow, small walled, of course. Right. Let's eat our food. Once we've eaten the food, I think we'll be ready to go and move on. House is quiet. It is raining. No horn yet. No horn yet. Then let's have a look around. I feel like whilst we do this, potentially we can almost set up some traps. That's completely possible here. But what's a good trap for a kobold? I mean, we know fire is good. Let's see. One print still holds rainwater made within the hour, it says. Beyond, a faint trail of sooty smears climbs the stone wall where a torch kissed the stone. So they've climbed upwards here. Not sure if it's too high or hard to follow, or if I might be able to go over that wall. Let's have a look. Trail ends at the open field. No cellar, no hidden doors, just trampled rye. Whatever carried the torch came, marked the barn, and left the same way it arrived. Okay, not ideal. Not ideal. Let's go start setting some traps up. So, I'm picturing we want... Of course, there needs to be some fire involved. I'm just a little bit wary that we're going to end up burning down the farm a bit. But there again, if I don't do it, they're going to do it. So, a sacrifice... Yeah, we can do that. So, go back into the barn. Above the entrance door, balance a lit oil candle. Below it, or make a small puddle of oil as a trap for the kobolds. This is about as rudimentary as I can come up with, in all honesty. But I'm picturing, you know, they bust through the door a little bit, oil lamp falls, oil on the floor, bang, dead kobold. Inside the barn, smells of damp hay and old smoke. Okay, so we do manage to wedge the candle above it. Okay, we have a trap set. Head back over to Rob. We have a trap set. I think now we can probably wait with Robert and hope that we can catch a little raid. Set your snare. Traps are ready. Sit back and wait for the first signs of them. Let's see, Robert. It's tonight the night you get your revenge. Nothing yet. Only this. Can be a long night. Keep waiting. We can keep waiting. We could also potentially go to sleep and ask Robert to wake us up. I'm just wary if they don't raid tonight. I guess we just sleep during the day tomorrow. That's not too much of an issue. We just need to get our sleep in. Okay. So raid or daytime. Now, if it comes to daytime, we could potentially take the fight to them. Once it's daytime, I think we're off to the hills, into the holes. It would seem daytime does not come for us. They're here. Take my axe. Move out into the farm. Here I was in my head. I was really thinking they weren't going to raid tonight. I was starting to plan, you know, maybe we go to the holes, smoke them out a little bit, get some traps by the edge of those holes. And they're here. The raiding kobolds are here. Okay. One less abandon, another sniffs the air. You count to 5, maybe 6, creeping towards the trap you laid. Watch them walk into the barn. When the trap, I strike the ones in the back. I'm hoping that the chaos of the front one burning, they're all going to be distracted. I come up behind them, bang, got the head of 4 kobolds. That's a lot of money. That's going to set us up pretty well for the future. You crouch behind the water. The water trough. Sorry. They cross the threshold. The flame, it has worked. The fire goes across the doorway. 2 inside shriek. I surge from the dark, axe high. Okay, I get the one in the back done. Okay, so we have 2 in front of us. At least. There's 2 inside which are either... Yeah, 2 inside are either burning or blinded. There's 2 outside, they're a bit confused, and 1's been taken down. Before their eyes can recover from bright flames. Let's see. Let's see if we're swift enough to be able to take these 2 out. Retch the blade free and swing it again. Okay. It's worked. It has worked. There are 2 trapped inside. How many remain? So these are moments again where, as you can see, I'm saying things that I want Growl to do. I'm mentioning what I want Growl to say. We can also, you know, almost out of character ask what's going on, just to see what Growl can see. So asking how many remain, it's naturally going to be able to provide that information. So we have 2 inside, burning, 1 more outside, halfway through the doorway, frozen, and 3 dead at my feet. So that was the 1 in the back that I was able to get, and then the double beheading I got. 3 dead, 3 left to kill. So it said they're frozen. That should be an easy target. At the frozen kobold. Aim for the chest. So it's easier to hit. I think as long as we can hit the chest there, Growl's got this. What was mentioned? So they said bring the heads, but I think anything works. We don't actually need their heads. You haul the great axe back and hurl it. Okay, it hits. It does hit. Okay. Suicide shriek, beating at their burning rays, and tried to bolt past you through the doorway flames. What are we going to do with these 2? I feel like maybe we capture one. Maybe we capture one alive. We could, here we go. So, we don't have an axe in hand, but we do have the oil. And if they are still smoldering, potentially throwing that oil over is gonna... That's gonna deal with one of the guys. Snatch the clay jug from your belt. Sling the lost oil across the nearest kobold. I did just remember after that, I was asked to bring the jug back intact. That's a problem. There's a problem for tomorrow, Growl. Today, Growl, we finished the job. Seize the final kobold by the throat, small claws raking in forearm. You pin against the door frame. Okay. Actually, I don't think everything's burning. So, take the live one to Robert. Ask if he has a rope to tie him up. We can come collect the rest later. I mean, maybe Robert's gonna be happy he has a live one. Maybe. I was thinking we might get paid double for a living. That's my thought process here. Because there were 6. We've killed 5. If I bring a living one back, maybe we can make a bit of money. Same place you ate. He fetches it, hand trembling. Okay. Of the others. Then come back to Robert. I guess we have another option. If we do want to actually help this farm, we probably want to stop future raids too. So maybe releasing the living one is gonna... You step back into the barn. The fire's settled to edit. Okay, good. The barn did not burn down. I love to hear that. I honestly thought the barn was gonna go, but it seems the fire was not quite big enough. I mean, we did only put a little bit of oil on the floor. Blood smokes on the cold ground. You return to the house. Drop the bundle at Robert's feet. 5 dead, 1 caged. Your barn still stands. Yeah, I was about to release and see if we can get that kobold to kind of get the other kobolds not to go, but then I thought if they raid again, we could get some more money out of this. So you've given us like the nice safe throws to you, mountain man. I mean, I haven't growled the mountain. I'll see this one questioned. Hold up. I want to take him with me. No need for questions. We can see that the response time in general is short. Once in a while we'll get a long response, but these are all things that as we progress through the development of this, we cut down more and more and more. Take the creature, it'll bite, squeal, draw blood, draw more of its kind. Folks here want answers. Maybe ransom. Shifts weight, spears goes. Let it stay. I'll guard it till the council decides. You know what? I'll trade you for it. That spear for the living kobold to stay. I think that's a fair enough trade. I can't remember if it was said how much we're getting paid per, but I doubt an extra double or maybe triple would pay for a spear. Let's see. That spear's my crutch. I tried to steal the man's crutch. You know what? You know what? I don't need it. Thanks. And run off quickly. Back to the village. Yeah, it's I just tried to steal a man's crush. Okay, so I've left them. I'll come back to the village, and look, we can carry on going for however long we want to go. You know, we can go back to Nice now. We can start collecting the silver. There are a lot of things we could have done there, in all honesty. One of them that was going in the back of my mind was taking this kobold. Can we train it? There again, we did kill all of its buddies right in front of it. So maybe it will never be loyal to us. But these are things you can try. You could try, take it, cage it, train it, make it steal stuff for us, maybe release it into other farms, let it start raiding other places. These is whatever you choose. And that's the game. That's where we are. And I'm hoping to show some more demos. Not just myself, we'll have other people come on, other developers. Some of the writing team maybe that can give you some more of the in-depth lore and look into what's going on here, because again, everything that's going on is all written. It's all designed and built. And the outcomes and interactions, that's going to be decided and dictated by an engine. That allows the infinite choices, and the living world allows you to grow and make this world into something completely unique. But as a baseline, everything has to be built and really provide the AI with so much in-depth information. Every character has a backstory, has a family, has relationships, has a job at a place of work, and as you saw earlier, we met Nice inside the tavern, and then we end up at their store, and well, it's not Nice in the store, it's Nice's wife, and other times it might be the other way around. It might be their wife has gone to the tavern, or maybe they're both in the store. This is a living, breathing world in that sense, and yeah, as such, we've got so many more cool things to show you. We could do this exact same run through and take it another way, and maybe the kobolds won't raid, and maybe other things will be happening. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this sneak peek into where we are, and please do join the Discord. Description is down below. I'm on there. All of the devs and the whole team is on there. So if you have any questions, if you want to see more of these demos, we actually sometimes run demos in the Discord where you can suggest what we want to write. They're demos that maybe run by us, but we'll put your prompts in and see what we can come up with there. So many more fun things to come. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.